Oh, today the conversation is kitchen a place for women?
Is kitchen a place,
A place for women? That's the conversation today.
Okay.
My name is Kwame Frimpong. I am an associate licensed professional counselor.
My name is Mary Frimpong, and I am the wife.
That is so powerful. We welcome you today. Please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to our channel, KFLifeCoaching. Follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook.
Yeah, and thank you so much for all your comments. Keep it coming.
Yes, it's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So today the conversation is, in fact, is kitchen, the place for women.
Well, if you want to be peaceful in your marriage, don't tell your wife that kitchen is her job.
Yes, it is. It's I agree. But let's talk about culture. So when you look at cultures, we are from Ghana. So let's talk about Ghana, for example. When we say kitchen, in fact, when I was growing up, I went to the kitchen maybe 2 times.
Yeah.
To be frank, we only pound the food. We don't go to kitchen.
Yeah.
So when you grow up in that environment, you think that kitchen is not our place.
Yeah, of course, and it's still like that. I don't know when my daddy went to the kitchen to do anything. Even up till now, my mom does everything.
Yes.
Serve him, cook for him.
Wow.
Every single
That's
thing.
like you are a king in the house.
Yeah. So I think that back home, that is how it is.
Yeah.
Even when you are getting married, the advice that comes on the day of the ceremony is make sure you cook for the husband.
Make sure you cook for the husband. I even heard that they said that the way to the man is in the food. I don't know what they say the way to a man.
To the man's heart.
To the man's heart. That's good. You know that one too. The way to a man's heart is what? Through food? I don't know.
Yeah. So they tell you you have to cook for your husband. Make sure you feed him. Don't make him hungry. Yeah. So of course, so in Ghana, we all know that. Women go to the kitchen. To cook. Yeah, and we understand that. But the fact that we go to the kitchen to cook shouldn't be on the husband's mouth that, the woman's place is the kitchen.
That is what makes, especially when you travel abroad, where the wife works. And even in Africa right now, wives work.
Oh, yeah.
Husbands also work. So, but let's talk about when couples travel, where your wife may be doing the first shift, husband a second shift, or vice versa. And if you are waiting for your wife to come and cook, that can become a heavy burden for the woman.
Yeah, and I think that is very, very unfair for the woman, because when we come here, we also work.
Yes.
We share the bills.
We contribute,
Yeah, but then the man expects you to do all the cooking. And so if that is not done, then the complaint starts. And my wife is not cooking for me, and my wife is not cooking for me.
Right.
Have you forgotten that your wife is also paying the bills?
The bills. That is the other day I told somebody, I heard from one pastor, he happened to be a white guy. He says, I don't ever want my wife to carry too much stress. For a woman to go out there, maybe you drive 1 hour to work and 1 hour back from work, and you have 8 hours. That's 10 hours of work that you put in. Then you come back home and stand in the kitchen and cook.
And another thing is the woman knows that he has to cook for her family. Yeah, but she also needs help.
Yeah, that is
from her husband.
From her husband,
And if one day she's not able to cook, don't let that be a big
Why don't you
issue.
order pizza? I mean, order pizza or what? Go to African store, buy some food to eat.
Yeah.
But it can become a very big issue, big time. Because especially when the man is coming from work and is conditioned that I'm going to eat African food.
Yeah.
You know, by this time fufu is ready or yam or something is ready. You know, and of course maybe you may not be from Africa, you're from another country, and your mind is conditioned that I'm going home, and then you go home and lo and behold, there's no food.
There's no food.
That can be a big issue. And sometimes that expectation can cause a havoc on the marriage. But when people travel, we need to change the way we think.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, then we cause more problems.
Some men will say your place is in the kitchen, meaning that when we are talking about big issues, don't bring any contribution because it's not, you belong in the kitchen.
Yes.
When men meet and are talking about issues, don't bring anything in there.
That is demeaning.
Very much so.
That is very, very demeaning. Even if you don't say it, if your mindset is that, as for women, it's kitchen, or as for women, there's nothing else they contribute. In fact, today in the marketplace, women are occupying a lot of places in business wide. And so I like what you said, the idea of thinking that or saying that, as for women, I think that needs to change.
Yeah.
You know, because if you do that, you demean your wife. And that is not godly, especially if you're a Christian. I don't think that the problem is that when people travel, couples travel, we all carry a heavy load on our heads.
Yes, right.
Going to work, taking care of your children, cleaning your house, all the stress, and you just come back home tired. You know, and we need to support each other. You know, so
and one thing I want to say is that. For the women, just because we also work to contribute paying the bills, doesn't mean that if you are not able to cook and your husband asks about it, the way you will respond is also very important.
It is.
You can explain to him respectfully. Why you are not able to cook. And don't say, well, when men cook...
It can be eaten. Like there's a saying in Ghana says, when men cook... That means that when men cook, it can be eaten. That's how I can put it. Whoever cook is still gonna be well done, something like that.
Yeah.
But like you said, if you tell your wife that, if you tell your husband that I didn't cook, and what were you also doing? That attitude can really cause a lot of mess.
Or why can't you also cook?
Why can't you also cook? You're also a human being. I'm a human being. So that kind of attitude can cause a lot of issues.
Yeah, so it goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
How the man is going to ask the wife, why didn't you cook, is very important.
Yeah.
And then the woman's response is very important. Yeah.
Now, as pastors... It gets even more complicated because when you are a pastor and you know in Ghana, before I marry, I told myself I'm not ever going to pound, right? I didn't know who will pound, but that's my mindset. I said I'm not ever going to pound. But when you're a pastor, it becomes even challenging to go to kitchen. I mean, I know some of our audience are pastors. And for us to go to kitchen, it's kind of weird.
If your wife is tired and cannot go to the kitchen, then what do?
So here's one problem. Some men actually feel displacement.
Okay.
Some men feel like when you go to the kitchen, it's like you have become like a woman. It's a difficult feeling, but some men feel like, you know, when I was in Ghana, it's almost like I'm a king, you know. My wife cooks and then she put the food on the table and spread it and cover it with all these other things, and then call me.
There are some men who also like going to the kitchen.
Some men like to go to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of displacement, I think that women can help men to help them, that we don't feel that way. Hey, honey, I like it when we cook together at home. Sometimes if you are able to cook, that is great. But I don't like it to feel like I'm putting you down, when you are cooking. When some pastors will also want to help their wife cook, but then we have run into another problem where we take each other for granted. One pastor told me, he said that the times he doesn't want to cook is after he finishes preaching.
Okay.
Because then he actually feel the same way. You feel like you are empty. You want your wife to minister back to you.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yes, but we take one another for granted. One guy was telling me, he said, Pastor Kwame, if I try to help my wife in cooking, she would not even cook at all.
Yeah.
And I think taking one another for granted is one issue that needs to be.
Yeah, so even if they know how to cook, they are not going to do it because they think that the wife will say, oh, you know how to cook. So
every time you cook, and then you. So it's a communication attitude issue that we want to work out here. And I think that when that is taken care of, it will really help. But what does the Bible say? In all these things, because everybody have their strength.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to cook, in fact, I'll share my story with you before we close. But the Bible says, I will make unto you a suitable helpmate. God did not qualify or define the role of the man or the woman.
That's right. So a suitable helpmate is in all areas.
Yes.
Not only in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah, except that women know how to cook.
For some reason, I don't know how that was. I don't know why, in general, women know how to cook than men. And then, so the point is that whatever need it is in the house, that the two people can communicate. And some women will never let their husband cook.
That's right.
Some women feel like if their husband cooking the same way that men feel displaced, women feel like if my husband is cooking, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. When we first got married.
Yeah. You didn't want to eat my food.
Oh, no.
You would never eat my food.
Not
as
at all.
much as I tried, you would never eat my food. So we are not saying that as a man you have to cook, but you and your wife talk about it, find out what is necessary.
Yeah.
Let me share with you our story. So today I bought the eggplant and green pepper. So let me tell you, growing up in the village, we had about 5 women. In Kumasi, in the city, another 7 women. Nobody taught me how to cook. My mom didn't teach me. So when we married, I wanted to surprise you, right?
Yeah.
And what did I do?
Well, you came to pick me up from work. And then coming home, you were like, when we go home, you don't have to do anything because I prepared food. I prepared some eggplant.
I really loved you and I wanted to surprise you big time.
Yeah, and I'm like, eggplant, where did you get the eggplant?
Yes.
And you said, it was in the fridge.
Yes.
I said, no.
Yes.
We didn't have any eggplant in the fridge.
So we argue.
Yeah, about that. You were so sure that
I was so sure.
You had the eggplant in the fridge.
On that day, I really, really wanted to surprise you.
Yeah,
I wanted
you had good intentions.
I had good intentions. I didn't have the skills, but you have to really thank me that I had good intentions.
Yes.
So people, nobody taught me the difference between eggplant and green pepper. So when I got all the green pepper, I thought they were eggplant. So I cooked them and I smash.
Yeah.
Yes, them very, very well.
And
then I added pepper on top of it.
Yeah, and other ingredients too.
And then I added palm oil.
And peanut butter.
And peanut butter. So we argue back and forth. And I knew that I used eggplant.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah, I came home, I look at it, I said, my friend, that is not eggplant, that is green pepper.
That's green pepper?
Yeah.
So you didn't eat the food?
Oh, no,
now,
no,
that night,
no.
That night, do you know bulldozer? My tummy was just doing some things inside my tummy. This is back when we were in Virginia, pastoring a church, somewhere in 99, somewhere thereabout. Yeah. But over the years.
Oh, you have improved.
Over the years, I have come a long way.
You've come a long long way. You have improved. You actually like going to the kitchen.
Thank you so much.
And when he cooks, I don't complain at all. I eat.
Well.
Yeah, and then when I'm eating, he'll be like, oh, so how is it? I would say no complaints.
No complaints at all.
If I'm not able to cook and you've cooked something, oh, thank God. I'll eat it. Yes. I'm grateful. No complaints.
You know, so that is how it is.
Yeah.
Help each other.
That's right.
Support each other regardless. It doesn't matter. Support each other. Help. Whatever it is, use your strength.
Yeah.
And it will go well with your marriage.
Yeah, and ladies, when he tries to cook, and it's not good, just eat it. Pretend it's good.
Pretend it's good.
Yeah, he will improve on it. Yeah,
and for
he keeps doing it.
And for me, whenever I cook, sometimes I call my wife and say, hey, I cook, but I think something is wrong. I said, I think something is wrong, so go ahead and fix it. You know, and she'll come and do some other things and make it work. So I hope this was a blessing. Mm-hmm. Subscribe to our channel. Like us, follow us on Instagram, send us comments.
Yeah, and keep the comments coming.
Keep the comments coming. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you.